Good afternoon, John Verlin, On Demand Advertising Solutions. Another digital marketing update. This is the 31st podcast. I'm kind of excited about today's topic. I noticed a post last week by a gentleman named John Swanziger. He's the CEO of Manta. And I'm entitling this, Is Your Business Ready for Voice-Enabled Shopping? He's predicting the future because Walmart, Google, and Amazon are changing the way we shop. And he's sort of defining what this will mean for small businesses or businesses in general. In the past, I've talked about on various podcasts the importance of being searchable on Google and having a web presence. And again, I've talked about too how a lot of small business owners aren't really keen on even having a website. Well, what he's talking about is it's pretty much where it's all headed and why you need to have not only a web presence, but a searchable presence that can be accessed through voice. Three things he's talking about. He's saying that, when Siri, and now they have Google Home, and these are voice assistants where you ask Siri about the weather, and, it's all voice-enabled software, but it's getting better and better. And this is where it's all headed with Amazon Echo, Google Home speaker. Samsung is also developing in-home smart speakers, where we'll be ordering products just by saying, "Hey, Alexa, get me a plumber." Now, you better hope your plumbing business is listed in search engines to come up when I throw that out by my voice for Alexa to pick it up. And this is why an online presence is becoming more and more important for small businesses. He goes on to talk about basically how smartphones now are pretty much everywhere. Touchscreen, keyboards, not a great way because you got to input that through text. But also the fact if you're driving and you need to be hands-free, it's all moving towards voice-activated searches and ordering through voice-activated. And 20%, he says, of mobile searches on Google are now done through voice. And I just recently got a new, actually an older smartphone through a prepaid service, and I just clicked on the Google microphone. "Hey, Google, find me a pizza place." Boom. We found this, and 5 pizza places listed near me. Fast. So I'm already experiencing what he's talking about just on my own little phone. But in the past, he brings out how the voice recognition software was really limited by the accuracy of that speech recognition software. And, it was maybe 75% accurate. That's why Siri always had issues, or Google's assistant had issues when you try to say something and we don't understand that. Well, voice-enabled shopping is the next logical step. Don't bother writing a grocery list he was talking about. He said, just shout out what you need, and Alexa or Google will do the rest. And they're getting better at recognizing voices. So how can you as a business owner benefit from this? Well, first thing he basically talks about is be familiar with the technology. Start using Google Home or Amazon Echo so you can kind of understand how that interface works. He suggests maybe try syncing your calendar to a voice assistant to get reminders of appointments. There's a Rhino fleet tracking skill to follow locations of drivers or deliveries, or use Shopify skill to track your inventories and your orders. Again, it's voice recognition technology you can become familiar with. Now, he talks about through voice-enabled shopping, you'll want to become an Amazon Marketplace seller. Now, this is for selling products because listing your products on Amazon is going to give you access to Amazon's consumer data and their distribution muscle. It's also going to allow your customers to place orders with a simple verbal request on their Echo devices. So that's why if you're selling products, in general, you get listed on Amazon as a marketplace seller. Again, even with local businesses, you can be listed on Amazon and people can locally order, and it will recognize that local business for them to order. Again, you're taking advantage of their data and their distribution. Okay, now if you're a service like I am, claim and correct your business listed on online directories used by the search engines. For example, I'm on Google My Business, there's Bing Places, Foursquare, City Search, dozens more. I think I'm on yellowpagesyp.com. And consistently having this type of information, your name, address, and phone number on these sites will signal to search engines that you're a local business, you're legitimate, and you're reliable. Okay? And I brought this up a few podcasts ago about being listed in search engines and owning that first page. Well, Google My Business was one of the top things on my search that came up for my business. So if you're a service or you're selling a product, whichever, make sure you're listed on these directories used by the search engines. Again, you say, well, I don't need a web presence. Well, it's moving in that direction. You really do. Because when this voice-enabled ordering takes place, you better be thankful you're on that search engine and showing up. Otherwise, you're going to be left in the cold. And he talks about, the future of shopping is ready to be heard. He was suggesting about how in his family last Christmas season, all of them sat around talking to Amazon Echo, and that everybody from kids to grandparents just knew how to use a voice assistant intuitively. It's just, you just blurt out whatever it is, tell jokes, whatever, and it recognizes things. So it's moving from computers and mobile devices to voice. And completing a purchase, he said, from Amazon is now as easy as saying a few simple words, and that Walmart and Google are catching up with all this. So to stay competitive, you as a business owner need to pay attention to this trend. This is what I've been talking about, of where all this is going from online searchable content to be listed highly on search engines. It's why we recommend a 3-part strategy to be noticed locally, but also in the search engines, because it's all part of the marketing platform. John Verlin, On-Demand Advertising Solutions. I'm keeping it short today because I wanted to just cover this, and we'll be talking more about this technology as we move forward and how you can implement this into your business. But great post. It's in Inc. magazine from September 7th, and hope you get some benefit from that. If you're not on the web, have a web presence, get a simple website. Mine is on WordPress. You can do a simple website on WordPress. I would recommend going beyond just a Facebook business page. Again, that's great, but again, see where this trend's heading. Pay attention to the trends, because if you don't, guess what? Your competitors will, and they'll be one notch ahead of you. And that's why this is so important. Get hold of me at johnverlin12@AT&T.net. It's my email. OnDemandAdvertisingSolutions.com is a website. Send me questions, comments, whatever. Love to hear from you. And we'll talk to you again next week.